Let's talk about cannabis. Ah, good old weed. Nowadays, marijuana is quite legal in most places in the West. And who can forget the old 420, the number strangely associated with cannabis? While the myths and lore behind this enigmatic number deserve a whole video of its own, here I wanted to concentrate on the number itself. As is the tradition of my YouTube channel, I like exploring different ways to make scary looking math equations. So let's roll up a nice fat blunt and create something fun out of this peculiar number. While 420 could refer to a date or time, I will be using the quantity 420. In order to reduce it to 42, let's first divide our number by 10 and save that 10 for later. Now, inspired by some of my other formulas, where I only use the variable n, I came up with this concoction. This is an infinite sum that converges to something around 1.628 and so on. I kinda like this one, so I decided to keep it and multiply it by 26. This gives us 42.3403 and so on. And we can use the floor function to reduce the whole thing to just 42. Alright, off to a good start. We have our first version of the equation that results in 420. Now, of course, we need to do something about this bulky 26. I figured I will use an integral because, if you're gonna be a math nerd, you might as well go all the way. But I wanted to make one that's a little bit more interesting than your average power functions. I wanted to make the top limit infinity and see what happens if I divide a natural log of x by x cubed. The graph of the function looks like this, so to make things convenient, I had to make the bottom limit at least 1. The result to this thing turns out to be 1/4. Not exactly the 26 I was hoping for. But okay, we can do something with this 0.25. Plus, I do like this integral. After all, it has an infinity for the top limit. So I decided to multiply the whole thing by 100 to make it into 25. Now, this 100 can also go inside, like so. And since we have a logarithm, we can shove it all the way in here, making it into a power of this x. Great, but I think that 100 is a little bit on the chunky side. So let's slim it down by turning it into 10 squared. Much better. Our integral is looking a lot sexier now. Let us also move that x cubed from the denominator by also shoving it inside the logarithm, giving us this thing. Fantastic, we created a fairly interesting integral. Finally, all we need to do is add 1 to the whole thing, and we get 26. And so we can replace our original 26 with this new creation. Our equation is looking quite impressive, although I'm not too happy with that small denominator. So I'll just put a minus here and move that thing up here. A bit better, but we can reduce it into this thing, giving us a nice solid equation that results in 42. Pretty good so far. Let's now multiply the whole thing by the 10 so we can get our desired 420. And here we go, an awesome equation for the cannabis math nerd. Yeah, but you know what? I think we can go a little further. Let's make that 10 a little bit more interesting. Let's make it into another summation like so. Two summations in one equation. Definitely more intimidating. Now, this boring 4 up here, let's just turn it into this little thing just for spice. And of course, for our final touch, we need to change that plus 1 over here into minus e to the pi I. And here we finally have it, a crazy looking equation that results in the infamous 420. I think it's a pretty cool looking one. I like it a lot. Cannabis has definitely been an inspiration in my life, especially as an artist. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this one. And don't forget to check out my other stuff. I got a bunch of weird videos about math, and as always, thank you all for watching.